loud. Okay, we're going to get started, and this is being recorded. I am Kiki Strickland, the founder of Friendship Mixers, and this is our meeting about our 2022 cruise to Greece and Croatia. While people are coming on, let's just watch this brief 2-minute video on Santorini. Okay. All right, I'm glad we got to see some of the nighttime shots in Santorini because we will only be there until 6 p.m. So we will not be able to see it in the nighttime. Thank you all for coming. Again, this is being recorded. Please hold your questions to the end, especially for the sake of the recording. I want to share with you what is on the website because I know some of you do not know how to book. Some of you have not been to the website yet, and it is girlfriendstravel.org. I did put that in the chat for you to pull up. Hold on just 1 second. And I'm sorry, it sounds like there's a lot of people outside my condo. I hope you can't hear them. So we have a group block on Royal Caribbean under the name Friendship Mixers. So far, there are 10 ladies booked. Another 3 ladies just filled out the form to be in a triple. So that makes 13 of us going. There is also 1 woman who wants to go but needs a roommate. So we have 1 lady that needs a roommate. All right, let me share the screen with my website. Okay, so girlfriendstravel.org. Here is the cruise page. It's girlfriendstravel.org/cruises. This is where you find out the details of our cruise. And yes, it is my birthday. Next year, I will be the big 50. I cannot believe it. Where does the time go? I have some pictures and just a little bit of each city except for Split. I will add something on Split tonight because I did just see that Split looks just as fabulous as the rest of these cities, Santorini, Mykonos, and Dubrovnik, which some of you might know from the Game of Thrones TV show, which I have never seen. So the prices are also here. These prices listed are for the refundable rate. If you would like to go and these prices are out of your range, never fear. If you are willing to take a cabin non-refundable rate, it will be lower. Also, if you wanted maybe an ocean view, but you're okay with an obstructed view, then it will be a little bit less. So definitely there are ways for you to still go if you need it to be lower. Just let me know. And how you let me know is by filling out this form here under the FAQs. So it just asks for your name, email address, your date of birth, state of residence, and what cabin type you would like, ocean view or balcony or inside or a suite. You could even have a suite. And the name of your roommate if you have one. If you do not have one, just put unknown, and then I will know that you are looking for a roommate. So here's where all the details are, including the ports, Dubrovnik, Mykonos, Santorini, and then Split, leaving out of Venice, which is actually Ravenna, Italy. So what I found out is that just last year, at the end of last year, Royal Caribbean decided not to use Venice as the port. So starting this year in 2021, Royal Caribbean and a few other cruise lines are now using Ravenna, which is a city outside of Venice, for the port, because apparently Venice ports had gotten too congested and some other issues. Venice is one of my favorite cities in the whole wide world. So I'm glad that that's still the main location. And then they have a shuttle that takes you to Ravenna. And Ravenna itself apparently is a really nice city in Italy to see. So if you Google Ravenna, then you'll find some videos on YouTube about some of the museums there and what that city has to offer. Now, I'll be doing another meeting closer to October of this year to talk more about flights and to talk about excursions. We're more than a year out, so really there's no need to even start looking at flights. You can't find flights this far out most places. In the FAQs, I do talk about flights a little bit and what I had seen when I Googled flights to Venice. Best bet is to try to get to New York City and go out of New York because it's cheaper out of New York City. I looked today and I saw a flight from New York City to Venice for $505 round trip. So that's going to be probably what we do here in the Maryland, DC area. We will probably go up to New York on one of the Chinatown buses or fly up to New York and then go over to Venice from JFK or what's the other airport in LaGuardia? Yeah, JFK or LaGuardia. But again, we will be meeting separately to talk about flights and what excursions we want to do at a later date. This particular meeting is just for you guys to find a roommate if you need one and to learn more about the trip in general. Okay, so I showed you how, so people keep saying, I don't know how to book, I don't know how to book. So I just showed you the little form that was under the FAQs on the webpage. That is actually how you let me know that you want to book. And then I will send you the travel form. The travel form is 2 pages, and that is where you give me your passport number, your credit card number for the $250. You don't even have to pay anything else until summertime of next year, although we will accept installments. Some of you have asked for me to set up an installment plan for you, and that is perfectly fine. You just let me know what you want to pay each month, and I will have your card run for that amount. But it is also okay for you to just pay your 250 now and not pay anything until the balance is due at the end of June next year. However you want to do it is fine. So let's talk about the cruise ship, because I know someone asked me what cruise ship we were going out of. I just told you guys that it's Royal Caribbean. Here is a brief video, just 30 seconds, on Brilliance of the Seas, which is the actual ship. So that's just a little, somebody was doing a festival and they made a video on Brilliance of the Seas from on Royal Caribbean. Those are just some shots there of the actual ship itself. All right, so now you know we're going on Royal Caribbean, Brilliance of the Seas. The ports, we will be at our ports from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., which is a full day. I love that about this particular cruise. I think for Dubrovnik, it is 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., but the other locations are 6 to 6. And when we are at sea, that's when we will have our 2 friendship mixers on board on the at sea days. There are 2 days that we will be at sea. And that just means if anybody has never cruised before, that just means that you will not be at a port that day. You will be cruising all day long. They have all kinds of activities for you, dance classes, movies, whatever you want to do. If you've never been on a cruise, you are in for a treat. There's so much to eat, so much to see and do right there on the ship, aside from all the different ports that you go to. All right, so I already talked about flights. Oh, add-ons. So some of you will want to stay in Venice a little longer, or you'll want to get there before. Because we're so far out, we're like a year and a half out. So it's too early for us to actually start booking. Plus, to be honest, I still want to monitor how things are going with the pandemic and the vaccinations. So that is another reason why I'm recommending just getting in a deposit and not even worrying about paying the balance until next year, once we can see that everything is back to normal and that everything is open everywhere. And that's the way I'm going to do it. I've only put down my deposit. My sister is going. She put down her deposit. She's coming from California. And again, the excursions, we're not purchasing anything else. We're going to wait until next year. Now, if we get enough cabins, you will also have a $50 onboard credit per cabin to use. So you can apply that $25 per person to an excursion. We want to do some excursions together, which we'll talk about at our next meeting. So keep that in mind and spread the word, because the more people we get, then we'll be able to have that extra perk. All right, I think that is all that I had. I want to take your questions, and I also want those of you who need a roommate to speak up and say that you need one. But before we do that, I want to show you one more brief video, and this one is of Mykonos. Mykonos and Santorini have been on my list forever. They're on my bucket list. We're only going to see about 1 minute of this, just to give you an idea of what Mykonos looks like and has.
Hey Musty Travels Tribe, and welcome back to another episode as we continue to explore the world together. Today we're checking out the awesome island of Mykonos, Greece, also known as the Island of the Winds.
Uh-oh.
This is probably one of the most picturesque parts of the whole island. Sit outside and have a cocktail while admiring the beautiful Mykonos sunset by the sea near the old white fishing houses with colored balconies. You better get there early though, because this is a really hot spot.
Okay, that's about a minute of it. I just wanted you to see how beautiful it is in Greece. Can't wait. Ah, I'm so excited. Okay, so questions.
Hey Kiki, it's Tanya. There was someone had a question in the chat. She was asking, is it $50 credit per cabin or per person?
Oh, great. Thank you. I didn't see that. Thank you for letting me to look into the chat. Oh, a foursome. Okay. It is $50 per cabin at this point. But again, the more people that we get, the more perks we'll be able to add on. So it could end up being a little bit more. It depends. We won't know that until we have people booked. Right now we have 10 people booked, possibly 14. Love it. Any other questions?
I have a question. This
Yes.
is Gina. I have not paid as of yet. I just wanted more information, which is great. You sold me. I want to go. So what I'll go ahead and do the frequently asked questions and get all the information. I'm going to need a roommate. How does that work?
Okay, so there is a person who needs a roommate. Her name is Tanya. Not this Tanya that's on here, but there's another young lady named Tanya. And at this point, I would pair you with her. If you need to change it later, that is possible. I've even had people change once they were actually on the ship because they don't really care who's in the room with who. But what I would like to do is pair you with someone from your own city, if that's possible. But since she's the only one that needs a roommate right now, then why don't you and she just be paired together?
Perfect.
Yes, great. Later on, as we get more people coming in, it might be that there's someone from the same city who needs, because I have 6 different meetups. We have ladies in friendship mixers from all over. So this person that you'll be paired with may not be from your city, and that's okay. This is to make new friends. Anyway, when we do our friendship mixers on board, you'll be talking to the other ladies in the group for a few minutes each. It's kind of like speed dating where each person will get to talk to each other for a few minutes and then move on to the next person. So we'll be, bonding, making new friends, creating memories together, going on some excursions together. So thank you for being open, for being paired with her. I'm sure she's great, just like you are. I see another question in the chat that says, are the prices without a roommate? The prices that I have listed are per person. So it is double occupancy there on the website. The price listed is for double occupancy, and that is your price for you per person. Any other questions?
So Kiki, I think the question may have also been, so if I want to travel by myself and I don't have a roommate, is the cost double?
A single. Oh, great. Okay, thank you for clarifying that. If you would like to be in a room by yourself, let me know and I will give you the rate for a single cabin. This particular ship had 3 studios and we booked those. So those are taken. They were inside studios, no window, but those are gone. But you can actually have your own cabin. It will be not quite double, but I think it's pretty close. So just let me know what category you were looking at. If you want to know the price of an interior or inside cabin for one, or an ocean view cabin for one, or a balcony cabin for one, just let me know and I'll get that back to you. So fill out the form that's right under the FAQs and indicate that you want to know for one. Have you heard of any issues from Black tourists in Greece? Opposite. I have heard that it's like Italy, where they're very, what's the, so I've been to Venice, Florence, and Rome, and the men were particularly friendly. But no, I have not heard of any negative experiences in Greece from Black tourists. But thank you for the question. And if I hear of anything, I will definitely post articles because, yeah, we want to be careful wherever we are. I would like for us to also do a trip to Israel, a faith tour, but I wouldn't do that right now because I know things are not that great over there right now. So in a few years, hopefully we'll be able to do our Holy Land trip, which would include sites like Jerusalem and all of that. But we would only go when it is safe. Any other questions? This has been recorded, so I'm going to post it to our YouTube channel as well. I had done one on the FAQs, and that's there. Send that and this one to anyone you know who is thinking about going but wants more information. If they have any other questions after watching both of those, they can contact me at hello@friendshipmixers.com. I'm going to put my email in the chat too. hello@friendshipmixers.com. And I believe that is the only, let's see, no other questions? Great, it's pretty straightforward. We'll see how things are next year. I'm believing that things will be a lot better than they are now. And I'm excited. My birthday is actually in July, but we're going in October because the weather is better. It's not as hot. The prices are lower. It's not as expensive. And I think that is off season. So I'm willing to go in October. I've already gotten the time off of work. And I really wish it was this year. But I don't think we would have been ready to go this year with the way the vaccination is going anyway. So, well, if there aren't, go ahead.
I have a question. So the deposit is per person or per cabin at double occupancy?
The deposit is $250 per person, no matter what type of cabin you have.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yes. And again, that's all that you have to put down until the balance is due June 30th of 2022.
Okay. And forms of payment is in the FAQs?
Yes, it's credit card. I am no longer taking PayPal for trips. I used to take PayPal.
Okay.
But no, I just take
curious if you took Zelle, but okay, credit card works. Okay,
oh,
thank
no Cash App and no Zelle.
Gotcha.
Because
Okay.
Royal Caribbean will actually be taking the payment, not me.
I see. Got it.
Yes.
Okay, so okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yes. So once I send you and I believe I did send it to you guys, the travel form actually is where you will put your credit card information. If you don't feel comfortable putting that on the form and emailing it back, although most people do it and it's fine, but if you don't feel comfortable doing it, then you can call me and give it to me over the phone. And my number should be on the email, but I'll put it in the chat as well. This is my cell.
Got it.
Great. Okay, well, if there aren't any other questions, Then again, we'll be having more meetings. We're going to meet in October of this year just to talk about flights. And I mentioned briefly that New York is your best bet, but who knows by then. When I originally started looking at flights, they were around 700 something. I saw some 900. I looked today from BWI to Venice and I was seeing 1,000, 1,200. So it just depends. You know how flights are, they go up and down. But
Right.
again, when I looked at New York, it said $505 round trip. So the DC people, the Maryland people, Virginia people, maybe even the Charlotte and Atlanta people, as well as the Philly and New York people will probably go on up to New York and fly together out of New York to Venice. But we will meet in October to talk about that and to start looking at excursions. I know that I want to do the cable car ride up to the top of the Santorini. The pictures you might have noticed, you can either take an animal up. I don't know if it's a donkey or a camel. I guess it's a donkey up, or you can walk up, or you can take the cable car up. And I want to do the cable car.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Is there an opportunity to change roommates? So what I was saying was, I have seen people change roommates even while they're on the ship. They just, the first day they said, hey, I want to room with this person, and they switched rooms. And long as you pay your bill when you're checking out, the cruise line doesn't care which room you're in. I don't care which room you're in. So that's just what I was saying. But I'm sure and that whoever you are paired with, if it's somebody that you don't know, that the two of you will become fast friends. Every time I've gone on a cruise, I went on 2 church cruises and I didn't know the people before I went, and we're still good friends. The people that I've roomed with and I are still friends to this day. So don't worry too much. We're all ladies, and we're all looking for new friends, so it should be fine.
Kiki,
Yes.
so if we have another person that's interested in going, when, what's the latest that they can join the, like, if we submit our deposit, but then, she decides that she wants to join, when is there a, like a, like we should all submit at this around the same time, or does it matter, or what?
So you're talking about upgrading from 3 people to
threesome.
4 people. And I will check on that because I've never encountered that. I do know you can have 4 people in certain rooms, certain cabins. So I will check on how that can change. Like if you're already assigned to a 3-person cabin, is it easy to just add the 4th? I will have to check on that for you and get back to you.
Okay.
Yes, good question. Anything else? Okay, I think that is all I had as well. Let me just look at my notes. Yeah, so we'll meet again to talk about add-ons, those that want to stay later or want to go earlier, because I think I'm going to go earlier just to hang out in Venice a little bit because I love Venice. And then the excursions. So once you are actually registered with the deposit in, then Royal Caribbean sends you your login where you can go in and look at excursions. But we'll be talking about which ones we want to do together at that October meeting. So stay tuned for that. All right. Well, thank you guys for coming. Looking forward to it. I'm so excited. I didn't get to travel at all last year. So this will be a great treat. Okay. Have a good evening.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night,
Bye.
everyone.